Shall we start with a happy ending? I made it. I rose. I escaped poverty. I escaped bad food because that's all you can afford. I escaped threadbare clothes and too tight shoes. I escaped drinking or drugging myself into oblivion because I probably escaped early mortality rates and preventable diseases. We'll see. I escaped obesity. I escaped the higher rate of domestic abuse. I escaped sink estates, burnt-out houses, and ice cream vans selling drugs at the school gates. I escaped Jeremy Kyle in a shiny suit telling me my sort was scum. I escaped casual, grim violence fueled by frustration and special brew. I escaped benefits queues and means assessments and shitty zero-hour contracts. I escaped hopelessness. I lived more of that life, my first 20 years, than I've lived of this infinitely cushier one since. And the names still ring in my head every day. Chav, Scav, Lowlife, Ned, Underclass, Lowborn. Yes, I might have been lowborn, but somehow I ascended. I reached up high enough to write these words and believe someone might read them. Now I eat well and I always have somewhere decent to stay. My clothes are cheap, but I can afford to replace them. I enjoy the luxury of exercise. I heat my flat in the winter. I have access to art, music, film, books, and they don't feel like a foolishness. When I've been unwell, in mind or body, I've sought help, it's been given, and I've got better. I've travelled the world several times over and made a living doing what I love, which also happens to be the preserve of people not like me. But now, let's go back to the beginning. One single mother, 2 stays in foster care, 9 primary schools, 1 sexual abuse child protection inquiry, 5 high schools, 2 sexual assaults, 1 rape, 2 abortions, my 18th birthday. The Adverse Childhood Experiences Questionnaire asks 10 questions to measure childhood trauma, and each affirmative answer gives you a point. Research has shown that an individual with an ACE score of 4 or higher is 260% more likely to have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease than someone with a score of 0. 240% more likely to contract hepatitis. 460% more likely to experience depression, and 1,220% more likely to attempt suicide. I scored 8. It might be easier to believe that I was somehow unlucky, that I was a terrible exception, but the truth is that people I grew up with experienced much of the same, a little less sometimes, often a lot more. The difference for me? I saw something on the horizon and I ran. I ran and I never looked over my shoulder. I am proudly working class, and in this socially mobile hinterland I currently occupy, I miss the sense of community and belonging which that tribe might provide me. But I was never proudly poor. True poverty is all-encompassing, grinding, brutal, and often dehumanising. I think it goes without saying that the knowing shame and fear of poverty is not something I have ever missed, particularly since I frequently still experience its aftershocks.